Hello, everyone. Hello, good day. Could be your morning. Hello, hello. I was just setting up, going live to Facebook, recording. There's so many technological demands of doing a live stream, but welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay. Who do we have here? Go ahead and click everyone. If you open the chat box, it's just that little chat box at the bottom of your screen. You can click on it, it opens, and then your message, make sure you click everyone, because host and panelists, it will just go to me. And I'm sure you would love to have your comments seen. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Heather and Teresa. And yeah, welcome this morning, or I guess it's afternoon now. Welcome to Magnetic Mindset Monday. This is very exciting. I am Leanne Christine, and I'm a manifestation and conscious creator coach, and I help coaches become the profitable, sought-after coaches that they've dreamed of becoming. And I see someone has on your end. Oh, that's okay. Well, let me see if I can allow to, let's see. Allow to talk, allow to talk. Okay. Okay. Cool. So that's it. Yeah. See if that works, Heather. You should be able to chat. Yeah. But I just enabled that, allow to chat. So or to talk. I'm not sure if that's the same language for Zoom. But and yeah, and if and then in the meantime, yeah, use the Q&A for any questions or yeah. So yeah, welcome everyone. Hello, hello, hello. I'm really excited. Today's topic is exciting. How are you guys? How are you, loves, folks? I try not to say the word guys. You know, it's been a practice for years. It's kind of hard to break sometimes. Yeah, so let me know, what have you been creating? I'm just going to type hello, everyone. Should be able to type. Cool. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Yes. Bring your warm drinks with you because it is chilly outside.
Leanne, can you hear me?
I can, Teresa.
Hello. It's showing that the chat is disabled.
Okay, well, let me
I can't write anything in the chat.
Cool. Okay, thank you for letting me know. I am going to look into that. Won't be able to do it today, but thank you for letting me know. And what I'm going to do is I'll pause for questions, and then you guys can we'll unmute, and then we'll connect to you and just see how things are flowing. Does that sound good? Does that sound fair? I mean, I love to engage with everyone, so let's do it that way. That sounds fun. Yeah, let me just go with the flow, right? Yeah, cool. So let's begin. Welcome everyone. So excited, whether you're here live, you're maybe watching this on Facebook, or you'll be watching the replay, which is just as powerful. And welcome, and I'm just so glad that you're here. We have an amazing topic today, and I feel like we can all resonate with today's topic: emotional takeovers. how to transform them into powerful, productive force for creating what you desire in your life. So it's a very, very yummy topic. I've had people message me and say how much they love this. And so let's talk about it. Yeah. And just before we start with that topic, I'm just going to chat a little bit about last week, because it's kind of a vein, a kind of a thread of connection to this week. Last week, we talked about how to get to your dream life faster. And one of the key ways that that is enacted or happens is by focusing and having a vision. So being able to focus on the vision of your choice. And the vision is the true choice. Okay, the vision is the true choice. So if you've watched way back, couple, maybe 6 sessions, that was one of the first things we did together, was create the foundation and create between 2 to 6 true choices that we absolutely love. We feel like they're the expression of our true essence, what we want to bring and create into the world, just because we love it. And we're committed to creating those, and we're taking actions, right? We're taking actions every week, because why not? We've chosen it. Let's make it become a reality. So those true choices is what we focused on, and it becomes the focus for how. So the big thing that we talked about last week was what the biggest mistake that people make, biggest mistake that a coach can make, anybody, is focusing on how to get to that true end result. Focusing on how. I like to write things down. So yeah, so I always draw it as a crown, the true, here's your true choice. You have between 2 to 6 of those, and your focus is on that, and you're taking action. And the key way to get to this faster, because this your true choices, that's your dream life. It's what you want, right? So the way that we get there faster is by keeping the focus here. This is where the focus is. And these are my beautiful little eyes. We keep a focus on it. We focus here, and we don't focus on how, because that's a process. We focus on what? What is it? Well, we know what it is. It's very clear what it is. It's written out. So that's something else you did in a few sessions ago, is you wrote them out. You wrote them on a piece of paper. I have mine written out on a piece of paper. I envision those every day, every week. And they're so clear. They're in my head, and they're in all my levels of consciousness. I know what they are. I can say them at the top of I can say them like that. If you ask me, if someone hit me on the street and said, "Hey, Leanne, what are some of the true choices that you're creating in your life right now?" I can name them like this. I know. So that's kind of where you want to be. You want to know what you're creating. If you don't know, it can get a bit convoluted, and you'll put a lot of energy into things that aren't really that meaningful to you, distractions, so on and so forth. So it can get very muddy, it's not clear. So when it's clear, focus can easily be channeled to that clarity, can become clear. So the big thing that we want to do is stay in the what to inform the how. So here's the difference. You're wanting to get here, and when you get tied up in a process, you're just thinking of ways to get there. And so after a while, you can get really caught up in a process. Well, this is how someone told me it should be done. This is how I read that it should be done. This is what I think or feel it should be done based on a belief or a perception or yada, yada, yada. So you can see how this can get really sticky, all these ways and distractions, right? And then all of a sudden you lose focus on that. The focus is gone, because it's no longer on the crown jewel, the lighthouse. So what you want to do is be in the process of sitting in the choice that you've made. You sit in the choice that you've made. You see it, you feel it, you become it. And we do this every session that we have together. At the end of the session, we always do a beautiful process called the wisdom meditation. And that's when we're in the end result and we use that energy, that focus, and we use that to inform what the next action is that we're going to take. Okay. So that's where the process, that's where the how will be born from. And it's normally more of an organic process. And we always want to come from that position, not come from the how first, come from the true choice first. That's where we start. It's an orientation. And it's sometimes really hard to flip ourselves into that orientation because we've been taught and taught and taught and taught and taught over and over that this is how it's done. This is the how is the focus, but it's not. You can see how you can get caught up in a cycle, cut to 2 years later and nothing's changed. Okay, so that you want this, you start here. It's kind of like Monopoly or whatever. I don't even know. I don't even know if I've played Monopoly before, but I feel like in every board game, there's a start here. Or in every, adventure book, there's a start here. There's always a start. So you want to start at the choice and let it inform you in the how. A lot of times we're special beings. All of us are special beings. We have something special to offer, something unique from everybody else. You have something that's unique from me that I would never even know even how to express, but you know it because it's unique to you. It's precious to you. That's what makes you stand out. So when you're inside the true choice of something that you dearly want to create, passionately want to create, the how will come out of this, not this first. Because this first could say, hey, you need, we had really good examples last week. If you're a coach and your end result is you want to be, you want to have a profitable coaching business and you want some wonderful clients. One of the first things you might think is, well, I need to be seen. So I need to do this, I need to do that. I need to post here and I need to post all over the place and I need to be seen. And really at the end of the day, after months and months and months of doing that, you could be feeling so burned out. This is what we talk about this all the time. I talk about this with a lot of my clients and a lot of other coaches is they're doing because they've lost sight of what it is they actually wanted to create because they got caught up in the process of what do I need to do to become this? But what it is this is what I am becoming. This is what I am now. What will I choose to do that embodies that? So can you kind of see the difference? How's that landing? Maybe you watched last week and it's just landing. And if you have a comment, go ahead and put it in the Q&A box because at least we can see that, right? Or a question, or even just a comment, or this is landing. Too funny. Technology, right? So yeah. So that's the key. That is the key. Yeah, so let me take a look. It's landing perfectly. Awesome. Awesome. Great. Excellent. Excellent. I'm glad. Yeah. Another thing I see a lot in a lot of coaches is they feel like they need to write a book in order to be credible, to be seen as an authority or an expert. And then they start getting involved in writing this book and then it kind of becomes something that can't carry the momentum to the actual choice that you've chosen, because it's a process. Okay, there's no energy in a process, and I know you can feel that. There's no energy in a process, but all the energy, all the magic is in your choice. You can say the book is writing a choice, because that would just be incredible for me to be able to share my life experiences, share something really special and important to me that moved my world. Excuse me. And then I just want to share that. I want to share that movement with others. That's a desire. So then you begin writing the book based on that energy, not because, well, I need to be more seen. I need to be seen as an expert. I need to be credible. It's just what happens. It's just part of the process of being this, but it's not. So that's so key. And by focusing on this, that's how you get to the dream life faster, because this is the dream life. You've chosen it. You've said, this is what would be amazing for me to experience. And I'm going to experience it. I'm going to start taking these actions. And then all of a sudden I'm experiencing it. It just becomes your reality. Okay. Yeah. So watch that if you want to learn more about some of the details that I go into. Really great examples. And yeah. And I think that kind of conversation last week kind of leads to this week's conversation, because you kind of ask yourself, well, we get caught up in a process because a lot of the times as well, we've been taught that that's how we achieve something is by the how. This is how, like, there's always a process of how to do something right, how to do something better. So I mean, it's nonstop, you know. But what's also driving, what's also behind that energy of the how is an unconscious belief, right? Something that we're trying to resolve, that's inside either our bodies, our fields, and our memory fields, that there's a belief there that says, maybe, you know, I'm not enough, so I need to create this to be enough. I need to finally be able to feel that enoughness. And so that led to today. And it's something that I hear over and over again, that we've all experienced, is emotional takeovers. Emotional takeovers. Eee, kind of prickly sometimes. I kind of want to bring some normality to that experience today. It's actually something incredibly common that happens to all of us, but I think what happens is why it doesn't get talked about a lot, like the ins and outs of it, is because there's a lot of shame attached to it. You know, a lot of people, you know, coaches alike, every other person doesn't really, they kind of wish, okay, let's just pretend that didn't happen, or maybe that won't, maybe if we don't pay attention to it, it won't happen again. So, I mean, there's lots of different feelings and beliefs about it, but today is about the emotional takeover, how to transform it. Okay, how to transform them into powerful, productive forces for creating what you desire. And this is real. This is possible. Okay. Who can agree that we all sometimes find ourselves in strong emotions that influence us and stop us from creating? Who can agree? Who can agree? I think I can agree. So it happens. It happens. And the most painful part of something like that happening, yes, we can all agree. The most painful part about that happening is we're aware that it's happening, but it's stopping us from creating beautiful things, right? And that's what we want to do by talking about it today is breathe some light onto it, and so the shame can kind of, you know, dissipate around it. and really provide some light as to why this is happening and what we can do to transform it into power, into powerful creative energy. So the mistake that, that we make as human beings, or even as a coach, because I hear this a lot as coaches experience this, because a lot of time, a lot of reasons we become coaches is because we have an immense amount of empathetic power. We follow the energy of the world. We can sense it, we can feel it. It's just part of our skill set and our power and our abilities. And because of that, because there's a tremendous amount of sensitivity to those energies, they can also be something very intense and strong, right, in the life of a coach and in anybody really, but specifically, let's talk about coaches. So the mistake is that an experience, okay, a thought or a feeling is believed as truth. Therefore, it validates an unwanted core belief that feels stuck and unchanging. Okay, so that's the mistake that's being made. Or you could also call it a misunderstanding. Okay, we have an experience or a thought or a feeling. We believe it's true. And then it ends up validating an unwanted pre-existing core belief that feels stuck and unchanging. So that's what we're going to do today, is talk about what could get us a bit unstuck. Okay, what could bring some more space into that, and then what do we do next? Okay, yeah, who loves the idea of that? I do. I love the idea of it. And this is tried and true, just so you know, this is tried and true. This works. So one of the ways that I've been talking with coaches and how they get caught up is these are a couple examples. These are a few examples. Okay, a coach will see another coach experiencing success, and then they'll compare themselves to that success and feel like they haven't had that same success, that they're not able to. They compare themselves, and that causes a lot of it triggers that core belief. You also might have an experience with a peer, okay, and feel unrecognized as credible or valuable. Okay, so a lot of times we look up to our peers to really mirror a sense of safety, value, and credibility, especially as a coach, right? Especially as a coach, because we want people to see what we have to value, or what we have to offer, sorry. And if that doesn't feel of value to someone else, then it can be very destabilizing. Another one is you might have an experience at an event or a session with a client that leaves you feeling like you failed somehow, somewhere, somehow. So that's another typical thing that might happen. Another thing is, coaches have families. Okay, they have families, they have friends, relationships. An experience happens that you might actually react, say something in a certain way that you're not proud of, triggered, and then you get to thinking, well, I'm an imposter. Okay, I'm not the coach that I say I am and act like I am when I'm on the live stream. I'm a fake, or whatever that might be. Something, like an imposter syndrome, I would say. So that's another thing. So all these experience, they build on each other, and they create this feeling of just creating this sense of destabilization, and then the result, they withdraw. Okay, we withdraw from creating. That's basically the result. Okay, so some of the examples is canceled appointments, push everything back, postpone it, not doing it. Okay, so there's a total withdrawal from commitments. More time spent in bed or on the couch. Those are some of the examples. Withdrawing from social events. So really just pulling yourself more inward and not being seen, right? I think that's part of the shame, not wanting to be actually seen, because you don't, that's how you see yourself. So a human will assume that they're being seen that way as well. Putting things off that are important to you, avoiding your priorities, things that matter to you, exercise, like self-care, body care, that kind of comes to a halt. Binging on movies, Netflix, like distractions to sort of take yourself out of the experience or the painful experience. And there's a story running in the head that you're just not enough, some way, shape, or form. And so that's all natural. And the most potent reason why this kind of domino effect is happening is because there's a core belief at play. So there's 6 unwanted, and these are the main core beliefs. These are core beliefs that were created during the time of between the ages of 0, so the day of birth, until around 7 years old. It's called the individuation phase. So it's kind of when you become an individual and you see yourself as who you are. You have these perceptions and beliefs that have been formed and molded by your family, your community, in school, and things like that. So in the individuation phase, these core beliefs are set. They're sort of at play and playing in there. So there's 6. The first one is, I am not good enough. So that's the first one. The second one is, I am not worthy. The third one is, I don't belong. The fourth one is, I am not perfect. The fifth one is, I am not capable. And the sixth one is, I am not significant. And so these 6 identity level beliefs have been, researched, identified after hundreds of thousands of conversations with humans, with people. And these are the core ones that those in this field of human potential, and this is what they've been identified as. This is not new, this is known. And these are the core identity level beliefs, and a lot of them are unconscious, deeply rooted in the 3 levels of consciousness: your unconscious, your self-conscious, and the superconscious. It's in all those 3 fields of consciousness, and they are consequently connecting to the choices, our perceptions, the way we see ourselves, the way we see the world, others, all of it. They're sort of the background informers of our actions and beliefs and what we're doing. And these beliefs are hyper stabilized. So if you can imagine a belief, let's just look at it like this. You can imagine a belief. It's nice and cozy, and it's hyper stabilized by other beliefs. Here it is. I don't think I spelled that right, did I? No. Yeah, so it's hyper stabilized and experiences. So you have a belief, an experience. So see, you have all these beliefs and experiences all around, sort of keeping this big one, right? That I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I don't belong, I'm not perfect, I'm not significant. You may have a little bit of all of these running in your system, or just, a couple of them are really deeply rooted. So it just takes a bit of awareness. So they're going to be hyper stabilized. So that's why beliefs are so powerful, because they're really deeply rooted in our memory systems. They're deeply rooted and supported by experiences that validate that as true, and by other beliefs. So they're nice and comforted and insulated. So that's why it doesn't happen overnight, that we just change a belief just like that. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, right? So what I'm going to be sharing with you is, how do we do that? And it takes time. It takes some practice. Okay. What we really want is to live in freedom. We really want to create what we love. We want to experience ourselves in creative energy. And we want the freedom to coach. Okay, to coach even when you experience strong emotions. So that's the goal. We know we're going to experience stuff. We know we have beliefs. But where it gets a bit sticky is when those beliefs and experiences stop us from creating. Okay, that's what gets sticky and très annoying, right? Very annoying. That's my French. Très annoying. So, what do you do? Are you excited to hear it? The drum roll? What do you do? What do you do? Let me write this down, because this is important. Excuse me. What do we do? 1, acknowledge the current reality. Okay, so you're in it. An emotional takeover might be, you might recognize it in your life. It might be something kind of slow burning, or it might be something that kind of comes up right away, very quickly, starts severing you from your creative energy and desires, and you completely go into sort of a hibernation very quickly. Or it could be something that's slow burning, experiences that have happened, and it's this slow withdrawal from your creative experience. And so you might be doing a little bit of creation and then pulling back a little bit of creation. So it might have a slow burn or a very obvious kind of explosion, and then there's a reaction to that with withdrawing, and then it takes a little bit of time for you to walk out of that, but it's not really determined, and there's not really a method, just time. So the first thing you want to do is acknowledge the current reality. So you're in one. You might know you're in one, or maybe you're in a slow burn in one. So just acknowledging the current reality, know the signs. That's what I call this. Know the signs. What are the signs? You might not know. What are some of the ways that I withdraw from my own life? Do I do any of those things? Do I push off and cancel appointments? Do I spend a lot of time in bed or on the couch? Do I binge on Netflix for hours and hours and hours and hours? Do I put things off that are important to me? Do I avoid my priorities? Do I stop exercising? So I stop becoming active. I stop taking care of my body. My routines ends. Yeah. Is there a story in my head? Am I really focused, hyper focused on an experience that I had, playing it out again and again and again and again? Okay. Those are emotional takeovers. It's the emotion, right? There's always something underneath that. A lot of sadness, a lot of fear, anxiety, could be anxiety. Okay. So know the signs. This is just a starting place. Know the signs, recognize when you're in a takeover, write them down, get familiar with it, journal about it. You know, these are the kinds of things that I'm noticing about myself. What are some of the things that I do? Okay. And this is done without judgment. This is just an observation. And that's why we say it's the current reality. The current reality is this is happening, and it's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. There's no problem with it. It's just an observation. Okay. So there's a few patterns that you've identified while you're in a takeover. So pick one of those patterns, pick one and break it. So pick a pattern and break it. So most often than not, a lot of times an emotional takeover will be all in the mind. It'll be all in the head. And so the physical body is largely forgotten about because this is a head game. This is a total head game when there's an emotional takeover. It's no longer about the body. So one of my favorite things is getting back into the body. So if I'm withdrawing, let's say from my physical exercise routine, to break that, I start doing something physical. Okay, so pick one and break it. So pick a pattern. Inactivity is a pattern. Break it, become active. And this is about being gentle with yourself. You don't want to force yourself to do something that is way beyond, several steps beyond what your body and your heart is ready to do. In terms of an active movement, it could be just walking around the house or walking throughout the house. Then you can take it a bit further. Do I feel like going outside? Then I go outside. Do I feel like going for a longer walk or a shorter walk? So you feel it out. But the most important thing is you're breaking a pattern. You're breaking it. So pick one and break it. Get into the body. And that creates space. There's always space that's created in that moment. Okay, the second one. So the next thing is, so the first thing is you acknowledge the current reality, know the signs of the patterns of being in a takeover, pick one of those patterns, break it, and do something different, create that space. The second thing is direct your focus on a true choice. Okay. Yes. Yes. Now this is where it starts to get exciting. Yes. Okay, so you've created some space here. This creates space. Acknowledging a current reality creates space. It's done in a non-judgmental way. You know, you break one of the patterns. You give yourself some space. Now direct your focus on a true choice. Okay, because that choice is yours. It's who you are. A lot of times in an emotional takeover, there's an identity that's being fed. And the identity is normally one of those core beliefs. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. Let's just take I'm not worthy for a second. Okay, so I'm not worthy is the focus. Do you see how what we're doing is we're transforming the focus back to your true choice. What's important to you? So we transform it. So those are the 2 to 6 choices, whatever you've written down. We talked about it just a little bit at the beginning of this session. Those 6 choices you've written down, choose one. Choose one. What would you love to create? What is it that you're actively moving towards that you've temporarily forgotten about and lost focus on? Let's just direct that focus back to that. Choose it. Have a seat, sit down, relax, breathe, and bring that choice into your vision, into your mind's eye. Now see it and feel it. Just give yourself some space to try this. We're going to do it at the end of this session together. Immerse yourself in it. For the sake of experiencing it, sake of experiencing yourself in it. So we're transforming the focus in this moment. So who doesn't agree this is super practical? Who would agree that this is really practical? It's not theoretical. This is practical. I like practical. Practical is tangible. Practical is something that's actually useful and can help shift and transform our current reality, right? Our perception of it as well. So we're transforming the focus, okay? The next thing you do is choose a next step or action. Choose a next step or action. So when we transform the focus here, you're going to ask yourself, well, what's the next obvious step that I would like to take now to experience this true end result? Let's say your true end result is just to live the life that you love. This is what I go through with my clients. We have the four core orientational choices. One of those is living the life that you love. So if that's it, that's what you're going to focus on. You're going to see it. You're going to feel it, become it. In your mind's eye, see it, what all the things that you're being, doing, experiencing, who you're with, where are you, having that life that you love. And then from there, choose a next step or action that you would like to take that brings you towards that choice. And so your choice is going to come from here. So see, there's a pattern. See, there's a way, there's a place to go. I should say, a step, there's a path. There we go. There's a path. This is your path. This is a path. Well, that's patch. Path. So this is a path. This is a way through. So this is a powerful moment when you're in this third step, choosing a next step or action. This is a powerful moment where you take action not from the perception and the emotions of the takeover, but it's from the sovereignty. It's from your sovereignty of one, acknowledging the current reality. Two, of directing your focus onto a true choice, transforming the focus. And three, taking a new action from this empowered, clear position. I'm going to read that again because that really sums it all up. Okay. This is a powerful moment. When you're in moment 3, you've taken these steps. It is so powerful in the third step because you're taking all the energy that you've acknowledged, that you've experienced, and now you get to choose. You're taking all that wisdom, all that energy, and you're using, it's empowering you to be here, to be here. And then from here, you choose your next step. It's the momentum of all this energy and wisdom that you have learned throughout here. There is a lot happening in here. This simplifies it, but these are the main steps. These are the chewy chunks of what to do. At least an option, right? Yeah. So this takes time and it takes practice because we're dealing with really deep core beliefs that sometimes run the show. So there's another step that I call the superconscious recode. I don't call it that. I am certified and trained in this process of working with the fields of the memory fields of the individual. This is what I do with clients. This is the other step that we add into here, is the superconscious recode. We connect to the field together, and we recode the outdated instructions, right? Connect to all these core beliefs in the memory fields of all three consciousnesses that are impeding movement forward and creating these stop patches, these inactive periods, these takeovers, things like that. Okay, this because at the end of the day, being able to take action is really what we want. We just want to be able to take a step, not be frozen or stuck, but just to take a step. Doesn't matter how big or small that step is, it's a step. And then inevitably you end up experiencing the reality that you desire, your end result, your choice. So yeah, if that's something you're interested in, message me and learning more about the superconscious recodes. They're very, very, very powerful, very powerful. And that's what I do. I have a coach as well. And that's where I've made the most progress in my life ever. We talked about all the stages and types of structures: oscillating, stuck, and flow. I had an oscillating pattern of structure for my life. And so now I'm into creative orientation because I have a coach and mentors, amazing mentors. Chris Duncan's my mentor. He's amazing. Hannah Nye's also a mentor of mine. Amazing, amazing teachers. So I share this knowledge with you because it works. Okay. So yeah, this is it. This is it in a nutshell. So this is it. Acknowledge the current reality, know the signs. Okay, know what's personal to you when you're in that takeover, that emotional takeover. Know it, get to know it, make friends with it. It's not a time for judgment, and it's a time of observation. It's a time of observation. Because this is a human experience that's being had. We all have this, so it's just a human experience. Then direct your focus on a true choice. Choose one. It could be the life that you love. Okay, become it, see it, rebirth that energy, because that's the truth. Transform the focus to that true choice. Let's just say that. To the true choice. We know it's true because we made it. We chose it. Okay, and then choose the next step or action that you'd like to take that gets you to this so that you can experience this, more of this. Choose it from here. A lot of times when we're in a takeover, we keep choosing from the internal environment of the takeover. We're not choosing from the transformed focus. So this is what this does, is it transforms the focus, right? Yes. Yes, and it works. It takes time though. So give it some time, try it out. See how you navigate through it. And yeah. So it just takes time, and please give yourself that time to try it out, to feel it out, feel through it, and in a non-judgmental way. And we can just relax in our true choices because they are lighthouses. That's why we need the North Star. And I say this all the time to my clients, is the North Star. It's called that for a reason, right? You can look at it in the sky and it's really big. It's vibrant, it's shiny, it's beautiful. You look at it with some wonder and excitement. It feeds you, it directs you. You can follow it even. You know, it's something you can follow. That's why it's so important to have an actual choice that's written down, that expresses the essence of what you want to create about that choice. Because in times where we lose our focus, AKA, for example, an emotional takeover, we need something that we are tethered to, that brings us back to where our focus is. We transform our focus. We don't ignore and push away and suppress. We acknowledge it, spend some time with it. Okay, create some space in there. I think that's a big one. Create some space. Let's put it here. Create space. Create some space, okay? And then transform the focus again. It's beautiful. And this can be done on any level. It doesn't have to be an emotional takeover. Emotional takeovers can be so subtle that you won't even realize that you're in it. It's just a habit. It can be just a habit that you have to cope with something. So it's just becoming aware. What's that habit? Am I retreating? What's that about? I mean, you don't have to know the answers, but at least acknowledge it. Acknowledge the current reality. Go through these steps. Try it out. Try it out and let me know. How does that land? Does that feel like that makes sense? Cool. I love that you think this is awesome. Thanks. Me too. Me too, because it works. This is something that I created, by the way. Obviously, I have my teachers. They've given me amazing tools, but this is something that I actually use because I know I've been in it. I walk the talk, and it works. And so, yeah, I'm glad that you're finding it really helpful, and I can't wait to hear how you get to use it and what comes from that. So now we're going to step into this true choice. So choose something. If you don't have them written out, that's okay. One of the core, 4 core orientational choices that I like to work with my clients, and it's the 4 main ones. Okay, one of them is I choose the end result of living the life that I love. That's a really nice one. Another one is I choose the end result of being the predominant creative force in my life. So that's so key. And during, when we find ourselves in a powerful emotion and it kind of destabilizes us, and we find ourselves in a place of when we stop creating, we're kind of in the engines have literally slowed down and maybe stopped completely. The predominant creative force in my life is where I like to spend some time in when I'm in a true choice, in this flow, in this path, because being the predominant creator in your life is you get to create no matter the external circumstances. And that's just basically whatever we perceive as real around us. So we may perceive that we're not admired, or we're not seen as an expert, or whatever that might be. When you're the predominant creator, you can still walk forward. You walk forth despite how things look on the outside, despite how things might feel on the outside, those temporary things that we experience and feel and think they're real. So we create we create during joy, we create during sorrow. There's a power in there. And that is the energy and the power that we all have as powerful human creators. We're also an energetic force as well. We're everything together at the same time. And so it gets overlooked. And so I love that choice, because it brings me back into that understanding and experience that I can create no matter the external circumstances. And it's so powerful. And it means also that you can have partnership in creation in your life. So you're not the only one contributing to bringing desired choices into reality. You have others that contribute to it as well. But the key word is predominant, which means you kind of choose first, right? You're the chooser. And then you can choose to have someone else come join you and create with you. And you can choose when that needs to end, and then choose another option. So you're always in the powerful choice, the seat of choice. So let's do that. Let's meditate on predominant creative choice and see what comes up in terms of the next obvious step. So take a comfortable seat. If you're lying down, that's great too, or standing, you can just stand in a nice stoic stance. I like to be seated because then I can close my eyes and yeah, and just gently close your eyes and just let yourself be held by the floor or the chair and really feel the connection physically with this object that's beneath you, that's holding you and supporting you. And take a nice deep breath in through your nose. And exhale a nice relaxing release. Take another breath in. I don't know about you, but this feels amazing to me. Every time I do this, I breathe in through the nose, nice and deep. And my exhale, I just let everything go, let it all go. And I bring my attention and my awareness into my physical body. So I just feel the contact of the chair or the bed or the seat to my bottom and my back and my arms. And I just feel the connection, the support that I'm receiving. There's a lot of love living in that feeling of support. So it's just making contact with that truth. And then I bring my attention to my heart. And we can just bring it there physically, to where the physical heart exists in the chest. And right away, sometimes I feel a sense of warmth. So that's a physical feeling in my body that I can feel and connect to. So just feel how your heart, how does your heart feel in your whole body? And all the while you're still breathing nice and gently and evenly. You're just letting your body breathe you and noticing all the places that your body feels with your heart. And your heart has its own electrical field of power. It's able to see and feel the quickest of all systems in the body. It is aware in the instant of awareness. So we bring our awareness and attention to that power. And breathe through your heart. And as you breathe in, you can feel your heart expanding. You might even see the light. You have a vision of your heart emanating with light. And you may feel the heart emanating with warmth or tingles, whatever that may be. And now bring to mind, join your heart with your true choice. Something that you've written down that you want to create, that you're actively creating, or being the predominant creative force in your life. Maybe you see yourself as the predominant creator, as standing in a powerful pose. So just a vision, and whatever vision comes to mind, that's okay too. This is natural. Tapping into the super conscious of ourselves and seeing ourselves in this absolute vibration of love and choice. Might see ourselves in our vision with a smile. And let that come as a vision in whatever symbol, shape, or whatever you see. You may even see a menu of choices in front of you. And from this menu, you get to choose whatever you want to choose. What are the options on this menu in front of you? What is being presented? What's showing up? How does it feel? Maybe some excitement, anticipation. So in this moment, you may receive some symbol or information, maybe a word, maybe a form or color or words, anything that shows up. You can ask, what is my next obvious step? What would I like to do next? What would I like to take action on next? That will give me more of this predominant creative energy in my life. That I can create more of it, or this, whatever this choice is that you're choosing. What will help me step towards having more of that choice, experiencing more of that choice. What is that? If you receive a few things, write them down. Just jot them down really quick. No biggie. And then sort of feel which one is really speaking to you. And you may have just received one very clearly, very, very quickly. And that's the one. So I'd like you to take that next action, that next step, that next thing that you would like to do. Take action on, experience, and commit to yourself that you will do that. Of course you can. It came from this essence, this beautiful field of wisdom and love and excitement, all that energy. So there it is. There's the action to take. Now choose when you'd like to take that action. You can write it down in your calendar right now. I have my calendar. Well, it looks a little bit futile today. It's written on another piece of paper, but these are some appointments that I have today that I want to make sure I get to. And so these are the things you want to write down, these actions, and then follow through. It is the most powerful thing is to actually take action based on what you receive as your next step. It teaches all levels of your consciousness that this is your reality. This is what I want to create, and I will do it. And so you have all these levels, the unconscious, the conscious, the superconscious, working on your behalf, feeding your momentum into creation. And it's just total freedom. Total freedom. With some experiences along the way. No problem. How's that feeling for you all right now? Feels like a magical space right now. Feels like a magical space. So yeah, this is it. So enjoy this space that you're in right now. And please do write this down. See if this is something that can support you. Really try it. Try it and share. Let me know how this session was for you, what you love, what you're creating. We'd love to hear from you in the Facebook chats. And yeah, share, share, share. And I'm going to see you next week. Follow through. Remember to follow through. Take that action today. And that'll be your focus, and where your joy is just the essence of who you are, it gets to be acted on. What better way to live life than that, right? With some experiences along the way. Amazing. You're so welcome. Excellent. Yeah, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, loves. I love being with you. I love having you here. You're such beautiful energy, and keep creating. And we will see you next week. I will see you next week. I'm going to be actually having these until about, just before Christmas. So about a week before Christmas. And yeah, so there'll be a few more sessions left, but all very, very super valuable, and the keys to creating and living powerfully in freedom. So enjoy. I love you, and I can't wait to see you again. And please do share any of your thoughts, feelings, experiences on the Facebook group, and we will see you next week. Mwah. Until next time.